Howdy ho, neighbors. I love that line. Hey, look, I got notes. I got notes today because we're going to be talking about, for a lot of folks, an uncomfortable subject: money. Moolah, De Niro, not Robert. Yeah, let me go share this though, real fast. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday to you. Did you have a good Monday? Did you start your week off right? I know I did. Some really good conversations with people today. So go share this here. 10 expos. So today we're talking about money. Now in the comment section, please, we're gonna bust some myths. We're gonna talk about some secrets about money that really aren't secrets, right? But we also talk about this. If you look at that quote from Warren Buffett up there in the, where is it? Right there in the header. Check that out. What do you think about that? What does that mean to you? It's an important thing. I'm just sharing this. Give me a second. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your patience. Here we go. Sharing. Sharing. Talking about money. Here we go. Shared. Okay. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, right? I think I covered this already. Let me just get into this thing, right? How about we just stop messing around, sharing, and getting all distracted by our smartphone, and then just focus on being on the live stream. How about that? We'll edit that out. We'll edit and post. All right. So, for those of you that are joining me, thank you so much. Please leave a comment so I know you're here. Participate. What myths, what ideas do you have about money that may be limiting your ability to have more of it? Okay, so here's what I want to do. As I mentioned at the start, I got notes. What we do every Monday night is we take Grant Cardone's strategy of the week and we deep dive on that bad boy. We're going to look at it. We're going to figure out, hey, how do we apply this to me? What did I get out of it? What can I give to you that you can get out of it? And then more importantly, how do you take the strategy, put it into your week, and make something else out of it? Do something bigger with it. Product placement in the background. Okay, so check it out. These are 3 secrets, money secrets, 3 big money secrets that nobody ever told you, okay? So I'm going to give them to you now. This way, you can decide in the first 4 to 5 minutes if it's even worth sticking around and getting more information about the secrets, okay? Because you might just disregard it and figure that ain't true. So forget it. So you don't have to stick around, right? It's all about service here. Service is senior, okay? So I'm going to give you the secrets now. I'm not going to drag it out. And then that way you decide if it's worth your time. Okay, secret number 1. Money only becomes valuable when it's used. Secret number 2. It's not your money. Secret number 3. Once you get surplus money, how do you get that money to multiply and have money coming in from different sources? I'm wondering if I can sit down on this thing. That's not bad. All right, so as you can see, I'm getting even more comfortable with my live streams. All right, so money, let's talk about it. If you don't have any, why not? Where is it? Where'd it go? Who's got your money? Have you struggled with keeping it once you got it? Now, I'm in sales, right? And you very well may be. You may be in sales and not even know it. But do you know any salespeople? I know I do. That would have this amazing month, right? 0 to 0. They would go from like rolling in it to, hey man, can you help? Can you buy me lunch? Because I'll get you on payday, right? Dude, you sold like 30 cars last month. Where's your money? You know anybody like that, right? And then they're like, hey, they went out and they blew it on all sorts of stuff that they don't need. Okay, do you know anybody like that? Who do you know like that, right? Is that you? Once you get money, do you have a hard time holding on to it? So what is money worth? And then more importantly, who decides what it's worth? So Warren Buffett says this, and this is the quote I put up in the No? There, right there. Up in the comments section, okay? Warren Buffett says, people that learn how to earn passive income will be free one day from having to work for earned income. Now, if you don't know the difference between passive income and earned income, please go get that education. We're not going to do it on the stream, but you need to know the difference and you need to know it deeply, okay? If you're just joining us, thank you for being here. We're talking about 3 big money secrets. I've already divulged them, and now we're diving deep into them, okay? The goal here with money is to have more passive income than earned income, okay? Is this your goal now? And if it's not, well, then allow me to invite you to sort of reevaluate your goals and make it your goal, right? Doesn't everybody want this anyway? You want money coming in without having to like work for it, okay? So that's what they mean when they talk about passive income. That's why Grant has how many gazillion apartments, okay? So that creates passive income for him. He's not out there like working for it in a traditional way. When I say work for it, I mean like he's not out mowing lawns or working a field or working retail or any of that stuff. He owns this property. That property produces income, right? Okay. This is what we mean when we say passive income versus earned income, okay? So now the smart ones figure out what they need to do to get more passive income than earned income. And that's the formula that you should start thinking with right now. Okay, and we'll get to that in a second when we get down to secret number 3. But the first money secret, okay, it's not just to have money so you can buy stuff, but it's so you can invest. So the first money secret that I mentioned is money only becomes valuable when it's used. And so the simple way of looking at that would be if you have a passport, right? He talks about this in the strategy. If you have a passport, that passport really doesn't mean anything until you want to go to a foreign country and you're standing in line at customs. Because if you don't have that, then you're not getting in. But if you do have it, then you are getting in. And so therefore the passport has some value, right? Has some worth. Now, if you don't need to use the restroom, well, the toilet probably doesn't have a ton of worth. But when you really need to go to the bathroom, that is a very, very valuable piece of porcelain. Yes? I've gotten out of a ticket with that. So, now, money is worth something when it is used. And when you think about the times that you've exchanged money for something else, typically that happens when the something else is worth more than the money that you have. And as we've all learned, and as you can learn inside Cardone University, call me for free access if you'd like, is that the number one reason people buy anything is to solve a problem. And that problem typically is worth more than the money that you have. So just think about that. Money's not worth anything until it gets used. Got this, it's just sitting here, okay? So what this got me thinking about is that if you have money in the bank or in a shoebox under your mattress, well, then that's not really worth anything either. It's just sitting there. There's no such thing as interest in a bank anymore. They say it's interest, but I wouldn't call it that, right? I don't know what that is. That's a decimal point, a couple zeros, and then we get a number. So as far as I'm concerned, that's no money at all. That's not interest. It's just sitting there. There's no way it'll keep up with any kind of inflation. So having it, okay, might give you some peace of mind. It might give you this idea like, okay, everything's gonna be cool because I've got this much over here, right? And I make that same mistake too. Like I know I need to have a certain amount over here to feel good, to feel comfortable, okay? And that might be a bad place to be. Have you ever thought about that? Comfort, nothing good happens in a comfort zone. So are you in a comfort zone with money? And is that actually doing more harm than good? Okay. So because the truth is you cannot produce money when it is in the bank. Now let's look at, I'm going to use an extreme example here, but if you take a look at a dude named Pablo Escobar, okay, that dude had so much excess cash that he was burying it. He couldn't put it in enough banks. He couldn't invest enough of it. He had this surplus of cash that he literally had to bury. And then not all of those bags were airtight. And so then the money rotted. I'm not suggesting that you get into an illicit trade, but if you've got money sitting in the bank, there's a really good chance, or under a mattress, that it's just rotting. It's not doing anything for you. Still water. You just let water sit. What happens? It turns green. You get all kinds of little fun things growing in there. Primordial soup. So here's an action idea for you. I'm going to give you 3. That's the first one, okay? Think about how you use money now. Make sure that you are using money, or is money using you, right? But first of all, how are you using money, right? And then finally, how much do you have in the bank? And is it time to recognize that you might be working from some old or outdated data about money? I know I've been. And I've spent the last 3 to 5 years really shifting my think about money, what I do with it, where I put it, what it does. So here's that to add to that. How much do you need to have to feel safe, to feel comfortable? And then do you have that amount now? And if you do, what's it doing for you, right? Like I remember Dave Ramsey said, you need to have a certain amount of money set aside that if the fit hits the shan, you can survive for like 9 months or 6 or whatever. For me, my goal has always been to know that if the fit hits the shan, I've got a year. And I want that to be in 3 CDs, doesn't necessarily earn any interest, that rotate every 90 days. So that every 90 days, a chunk of money is available to me should there be some kind of like really awful thing happening. Okay, that's important to me. That's what I need to feel secure. But what is that money doing for me? Maybe I should put it somewhere safer that generates cash flow. Okay, so these are the things I'm working on, right? I don't have to hide anything. I'll just be straight with you. Okay, so how is that? If you've got money set aside now, is it enough to be comfortable? And what's the money doing for you other than keeping you safe? Is it multiplying, which we'll talk about in number 3? Okay, so the second money secret is all money is somebody else's money. Now, if you're in sales, this is a huge thing to get your head wrapped around. First, you got to wrap it around for you. And then secondly, if you can wrap it around yourself and have full understanding and comprehension of this will make you a better closer. And the better you get at convincing others that it's not their money, the better closer you're going to be. Okay? So let's look at this for a second. The problem is that people go into protection mode rather than going out and getting more money. This is why people become complacent, right? So you have enough, just enough, which is a really bad place to be, right? I got just enough, right? It's so dangerous. So then, but it's safe. So then you start trying to justify and make sense of being safe. You'll say things like, well, money isn't everything. Money's not going to make you happy, right? I love what Grant says about that, right? He says, hey, I'm going to be unhappy, I'll take 100 million, right? And usually the people that say these things, they don't have a lot of money. So they're making sense of not having it by downplaying its importance. So people are making sense of their situation and they're complacent with what they have because they're trying to protect it rather than use it to get more of it. I've made this mistake. Not anymore. So the mindset, though, becomes that it's their money. And that was the mistake I was making. I'm thinking, man, I'm working hard for my money. But the reality is it's not mine. It never was. Well, whose is it? I don't know. Better question. Whose was it? Okay. So think about the life cycle of money. So think about your last paycheck. Or the last bit of money that was given to you. Where did it come from? It came from somebody else, and it was their money for a while. And before it was their money, it was somebody else's money. Okay? So think about, let's just use an easy example. Let's go old school, right? I'm going to take you down memory lane. Before I got to where I'm at right now, I used to manage a record store. I wasn't the head manager, but like I was a manager in a record store. when I think back about my early 20s and late teens, great time. I love working in a record store. But here's the deal. So a customer would come in, right? A lot of people come in. They'd buy CDs, they'd buy cassettes. For those of you that are young, CDs are these, they're round little discs that have digital music imprinted on them. And cassettes actually had like, never mind. Okay, so they'd come in, they'd buy, I dropped my paper. They'd buy music and they'd rent videos. Okay, this is pre-Netflix. I'm dating myself. Okay, they'd come in, they'd rent videos, they'd buy CDs and cassettes, right? They'd buy some product stuff, right? And all that money would then go into a kitty, and some of it would be given to me because I helped these people buy music, buy happiness, and rent videos. And I made the store look nice, and I kept everything clean, right? And those were my jobs, and I would help the other employees do their job better. And because of that, the money that the customer gave to the company, Music Plus, would then give me some of it, right? And then I would take that money, and then I would go give some of my money to my landlord. And then I give a little bit of my money to Toyota because I drove a Paseo at the time, right? So it was a Toyota motor car. I would give them some money, typically. I missed a few months, but I would give them some money, right? And then on the weekends, I have a day off, then we'd all get in the car and we'd drive down to Los Angeles, and I would give some of that money to a really awesome Italian restaurant called Michelli's, and I give a little bit more to the El Capitan movie theater. So I'm taking what I thought was my money, and then I'm giving it to them, and now it's their money. And then they take some of that money, and then they give it to their employees, and the whole cycle starts. So the money is fluid. If that makes any sense. So start thinking with that now. Start thinking with, it's just not your money. It's nobody's money. Money is meant to move. Okay? So if you're working with a customer, you're trying to close a deal, and you're like, hey, look, I understand you work hard for this money, but this isn't even your money. That was your employer's money. He gave it to you to hold on for a while. Now you're going to give some of it to me. Okay? Well, we're going to take it, and we're going to give it to somebody else. Eventually, it'll get back to you, so don't worry about it, right? So let's get into secret number 3, is once you get surplus money, how do you get that money to multiply? Because that's important. You can always add money. This means you go work more. At some point, though, that caps out. So now you got to start thinking, well, how can I multiply the money? Which is what I'm trying to do. So should you. You also need to have money coming in from different sources. Okay, now it's an interesting thing because a lot of people get all weirded out or confused with this whole diversification concept. Okay, well, what does that mean, really, diversify? Okay, so Grant's going to have, think about Grant Cardone. Grant owns how many apartment complexes? A lot. Okay, and let's just keep the numbers even, right? Let's say he's got 100 complexes. And each one of those have a certain number of units. And each one of those units has a tenant, and that tenant pays money. Okay? So if he's got 99 complexes, or let's just even get it small. Let's say he's got one unit that has 100 apartments in it. The money that's coming in, it's diversified because it's coming from 100 different sources. So if 5 of them stop the flow, he still has 95 other flows. Okay, but it's all in the same. That is diversification. That doesn't mean that you need to be like over here in tech stock and then bio stock and blue chip, like all this, like you're everywhere. Like, no. That's not safe. It's not secure. Granted, I'm not a financial analyst, but I know one makes a ton more sense to me than having stuff spread out all over the place. Okay, so there's something to be said for having all your eggs in one basket, but making sure that basket is incredibly diverse. So that's what he means when he talks about multiple flows of income. So you've got your job. Okay. Does everybody have a copy of the Millionaire Booklet? If you don't and would like one for free, shoot an email out to david@grantcardone.com because Grant breaks it down way better than me in that book, and I'll get you a free copy. Okay, david@grantcardone.com. Shoot me an email. Say, hey, I saw your live stream, or I saw this video on YouTube after the stream. I want a copy of the Millionaire Booklet. Here's my address. Get it to me, and I'll take care of it for you. Okay. We'll need you to pay for shipping, but if you can do that, I get you the book for free. Fair enough? Awesome. david@grantcardone.com. So you want your money invested. There's a couple different ways or places that you need to invest it. But once you have that nest egg that I was talking about, once you have that comfort zone that I mentioned, right? Where's it going, and is it producing more income for you? Okay, so here's your action idea on that. I'm going to come up with, on your own, 3 investments that you could do with your surplus money that would start generating cash flow for you immediately. I'll give you 2 hints. 2 hints, more cash flow. 2 hints. Number 1, you are the most valuable and important investment you could ever possibly make. And the more you invest in you, the more cash flow you can create and generate, okay, first and foremost. The next investment to start thinking with is that if you're not in a position to go out and buy some of these big deals, make sure you're in communication with Cardone Capital. Okay, send me an email and I'll refer you over to somebody in Cardone Capital that you can have a conversation with. There's some really easy ways to get in with that and still make sure that your money is working for you. Okay, and if you're going to do stocks, this is my personal opinion. If you're going to do stocks, make sure that sucker pays a dividend. Make sure that it's a company that is not going away ever, and that you don't, and this is a Warren Buffettism, do not lose money. So don't gamble with stocks. You buy stocks because you buy companies. Warren Buffett doesn't buy a dividend, he buys a company. Okay, me personally, I look for companies that pay dividends. That's it. Okay, so if I'm going to buy stock, okay, so come up with 3 investments that you can make that generates cash flow back to you, that starts you on the process of multiplying your money. That's the point, okay? So things we were told as kids: save your money, protect your money, okay? Don't waste your money, okay? Don't play with money. Okay, but what we weren't told were these 3 things, which is money's useless unless you use it, okay? We weren't told that all money is somebody else's. We were actually convinced that it was ours and we shouldn't share it, which is weird, okay? And then we weren't taught to invest surplus. So this week, work the 3 action ideas. Should we review them? Let's review them, okay? Action idea number 1 was what? Isolate and identify how you use money now, and then how much you need to feel safe, and what are you doing with it? Okay, is that nest egg protecting you, or is it growing? Because if it's not growing, it's dying. That's it. It's one or the other. Okay. Second one is start making sense of that it isn't your money, that money flows to people when it's used. Okay, and then the third is start looking to get the money to work for you instead of you just working for it. Once you get it, put it to work for you. Okay, so this brings me to the final thing. Who are you hanging out with? And are the people you're hanging out with, are they reinforcing these old ideas about money? Or are they reinforcing these new ideas? Are they helping pull the layers of the secrets out so you can better understand and better work within these new realities for you? Okay, I can't think of a better place to get around people that think this way than at the 10X Growth Conference. This is coming up in February. Okay, if you need to be around people that are not going to limit you, that think way bigger than you, that have these 10X mindsets, these 10X goals, that they want to make more money so that they can get their money to grow, right, and flow, generate, okay? You need to be around these kind of people that are going to support you, lift you up, push you to get better so that you can create more for yourself and your family and your future. This is who you need to be around, okay? If the people you're with right now are the ones that are preaching save your money, protect your money, money's not going to make you happy, you might be in the wrong crowd, and you'd be significantly better off hanging out with a group of about 12,000 people looking to do something even better for themselves, that literally want to create multiple flows of income, that literally want to use money instead of being used by it, right? This is who you want to be around. So if you need more information on the Growth Conference, reach out to me as well. So there's a lot of things you can do when you reach out to me. You can reach out to me to get more information on how to make more money and how to use Cardone University to do it. And that is an investment that you would be making in you. You can reach out to me to get a free copy of the Millionaire booklet where you can take some of these secrets, because they're all in there, right? And really expand on them, really dig into understanding what these secrets are and how to make them work in your life, right? And then how to get around people that want this too. Because you need to surround yourself with people that want it too. So here's how to get a hold of me. David@GrantCardone, that's my email address. You can call me at the office, 310-777-0352. Work on these secrets this week. Let me know what you got out of it, right? Let me know if it helped, how it helped. Which one of the 3 secrets really blew your mind? You're like, man, that one I got to work on, right? Which one was it? Let me know. David@GrantCardone.com or 310-777-0352. Have an awesome week. Thank you for watching. See you soon.